Okay, so if you're learning European Portuguese, you've probably hit a snag with questions that makes you do a bit of a double take. You hear one thing, but you read something else entirely. So what's going on? Well, today, we're going to crack that code.
All right, let's just jump right in. Picture this. You find a resume, and you want to ask, whose is this resume? You'd probably learn to say it like this. De quem é este currículo? Simple, direct, makes total sense. But then, you hear a native speaker ask the exact same thing, and it sounds more like this. De quem é que é este currículo? All of a sudden, these two extra words, que, just pop up out of nowhere. So, which one is actually correct? So what's the deal here? What is the actual difference? The good news is the answer is way simpler than you're probably thinking. This is one of those fantastic language secrets that once you see it, you'll see it everywhere. Okay, first things first, let's get one thing straight. This isn't a case of right versus wrong. Both of those questions are 100% correct. The real puzzle is, why are there two different ways to ask the same thing? You guessed it, the secret to this whole mystery is all wrapped up in those two little words. So let's unlock the power of AK. And here it is. This is the big reveal. "E" is basically an optional filler phrase. Think of it like conversational seasoning. You sprinkle it into a question to make it sound more natural, maybe add a little emphasis, but it doesn't actually change the meaning one bit. And honestly, this is such a liberating rule to learn. Here's the most important takeaway. You can pretty much always add AK or take it away, and the question itself doesn't change. It's all got style, not about strict grammar. Okay, enough talk. The best way to really get this is to see it in action. So let's look at some examples side by side. All right, let's go back to our original puzzle. Over here on the left, com quem é is the version you're going to hear all the time in conversations. And on the right, you have the shorter, more direct form. Both mean, whose is this? The one on the left just feels a little more conversational. Let's try another one, just to see the pattern. Let's use the question word what. You've got o que é que tu queres versus o que tu queres. Both mean, what do you want? And again, that ek version is super common when people are just talking, and it slots in right after the question word. Okay, one more just to really hammer this home, this time with onde, which means where. Onde é que eles moram, or onde eles moram. Both mean, where do they live? See, by now you're probably seeing the pattern loud and clear. Eki just tags along after the question word to give it that natural conversational flow. So this probably brings up a question for you. If eke is so common in speech, why do so many textbooks teach the shorter version? Well, there's actually a pretty smart stylistic reason for it. It comes down to what you could call the ekie problem. In our very first example, the main verb of the sentence was meaning is. When you add eke right before it, you get this repetitive sound, ekie. Now, it's not grammatically wrong at all, but it can just sound a little clunky. So, to keep things sounding clean, especially in writing, people often just use the shorter form. All right, let's do a super quick recap of what we've covered. Quem is what you use for people. De shows possession, that something belongs to someone. And the star of our show, que, is just that optional conversational flavor. You can add it or you can leave it out. Your call. Okay, so you've seen the logic, you've seen the examples. Now the best way to really make this stuff stick is to try it out for yourself. So it's your turn. Here's the setup for you. The statement is, esta caneta é do professor, which means this pen is the teacher's. So how would you ask, whose pen is this? Go on, think about it for a sec. Yep, you could say, de quem é esta caneta? Or, using our new trick, de quem é que é esta caneta? Both are absolutely perfect. And just like that, the eke enigma solved. It's such a perfect example of how a living, breathing language has these flexible little rules that you don't always find in a textbook. It really makes you wonder, right? What other little hidden rules are out there, quietly shaping the way we all speak every single day?